Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're just going to get right into our May 2021 monthly income budget with me. For those of you new to my channel, which is actually a surprising number of you, hi, I'm Kate and we are a rural living family of 5 currently using one income to pay off our debt and work our way to financial freedom. Now I am very sorry that this video is a little late. I filmed it nearly 2 weeks ago, and in that time we have had a lot going on relating to school, like outdoor concerts and performances, to appointments that are routine, but also ones that are currently annually. We've had dance recitals and so on. In those 2 weeks, we have also had a massive temperature shift here in Pennsylvania, and I'm fairly certain we're not the only part of the country that has had this. 1 week we had lows in the 20s and 30s, highs barely making it into the 50s. We're still putting wood into the stove, keeping our wood fire going, which in May is very weird. The following week we had lows in the 60s and highs in the 90s, and I really wish this is an exaggeration, but it's not. It was ridiculous, and it sent everything into an instant overdrive and blooming mode. For those of you unaware, I have severe environmental allergies and asthma to boot. I am on inhalers daily, I take a lot of allergy medication daily, and I also go get allergy shots currently every 4 weeks. I really should be going every 2 to 3, but there's a gigantic health crisis globally going on that they have stretched it out to the furthest I can go, which is every 4. Of the entire environmental panel that the doctor had tested me on, I'm allergic to it all of it. The dust, the grasses, the trees, the molds, the mildews, everything, except pet dander. I was tested for dogs, cats, and rabbits, and I'm not allergic to 2 types of trees, hickory and elm. Now I live near a lot of pine trees and various evergreens, and I also live with a lot of birch and maples and ash trees. And because that temperature swing was just so bad, I was having a lot of allergy issues and I couldn't breathe. And a neat little side effect for me is that I also get allergic laryngitis. Yep, I lose my voice. I sound worse than the squeaky teen from The Simpsons if the allergen count is high enough. And honestly, my body sets a very low bar because perfumes in stores can also set it off. Cigarette smoke can set it off. It is very random when it happens, and when it happens, it's very annoying and can last for a day, can last for a couple of hours, can last for weeks. So this video, I'm starting by filling out our budget calendar. This calendar and workbook is one that I created. This particular version I'm using, you cannot get yet because I'm still in the process of revamping it. There are some changes to the design that I would like to make, and I just haven't really had the time or figured out how to do it yet. But there is a very similar one in my Etsy shop, which I will link below. Initially, I was hoping to get the revamp done in June, but our summer has just filled up with a lot of things now that the mask mandates in my state are ending on June 1st. We personally will still be wearing masks because I am high risk, but just things are getting back to some sort of normalcy, which means it is getting crazy hectic here. And it also means I may not get to upload the revamped version in June, but I will keep you all updated. This particular budget calendar tracks everything money related to this paycheck, and this particular paycheck runs from May 14th to June 14th. We are usually paid on the 15th of every month unless the 15th falls on a weekend, and May 15th did. When this happens, we get paid the Friday prior. I also have a lot of reminders at the bottom for this month as well. I need to order some items for A's trumpet that he's going to need for marching band in August. My brain is, if I get them out of the way now, I won't have to worry about it then. It's really going to be his problem as to where he misplaced them. And if you know anything about teen boys, you know they misplace things a lot. I also have Lilo's 6-month flea tick heartworm order coming. I need to get my car inspected. I need to get A's trumpet cleaned, and I didn't write it down, but I need to get O's clarinet cleaned. And I also need to start filling in my kids' summer wardrobes because they are growing like weeds again. We also have surgery for Hubs coming up this month, as well as A's wisdom teeth removal next month. I have 2 people in my family going through surgery in less than 2 weeks. So also coming up in next pay month, I have to remember that we get a propane delivery again. We use propane for our water heater and our stove. We do not use it to heat our house. We have a wood stove for that. We have an 8-week auto ship of food for our dog and 2 rabbits. And we also have a trash bill and AAA bill that are coming due next month. Our June paycheck will be very heavy on the non-monthly bills, which thankfully we do have a sinking fund for. So as I'm going through and setting up this budget, I note at the top here that I have Hubs' regular income coming in, and some of the clothing budget from last month is staying in the checking account to pay for a purchase on our Old Navy credit card. So this is a very controversial thing in the debt-free community, isn't it? You have those that are dead set against using credit cards and those who are okay with them. We are personally okay with using credit cards as long as you use them wisely. We have had our bank information stolen online a few times in the past, and I've had my bank account overdrafted by people who have stolen my card numbers online. I personally enjoy the protections that come from credit cards over debit cards. Now that gap has gotten better over the years. Protection on debit cards has gotten better, but it's still not perfect. Store cards, we do consider to be credit cards, even though they are a little different. Now, I don't have many of them. We do have a red debit card for Target, technically a debit card. It comes right out of our checking account. It does get us some perks, including 5% off purchases. But we have a Kohl's store credit card, and I love combining their clearance with their 30% off offer. And that only works if you use their credit card. And I have an Old Navy card because I have 2 kids that their brand size fits really well in, and they hold up to what they put the clothes through as well. For savings, I have $1,034 in this section here, and I put the other 2 categories totaling $270 under debit expenses. Our sinking funds will dwindle down soon, but in the meantime, I have to work with what I've got. We have savings deadlines to reach. Bills here are pretty standard with a few exceptions. So D. Chase had some gifting purchases for my birthday that came from the sinking fund, as well as a new kitchen faucet purchase for our house. And rather than using our debit card for it, we just used the credit card and we're paying it off in full this month. So D. Chase, which is usually around $50, is budgeted at $450 this month. Holy Batman, has home improvement items gone up in price drastically. If you want to leave a hardware store and pay nearly $300 but only buy a new kitchen faucet and a replacement inner tire tube for your wheelbarrow, now is the time. I'm also leaving a space here at the bottom for any dance tuition payments for the fall. At the time I filmed this, I knew we usually get the fall schedule right before the recital, and the recital was quickly approaching. But it was accompanied by a change in guidelines on how many people could attend and how much space could be in between. And so there was a lot of things going on that this really wasn't on the instructor's mind, and that's okay. I didn't know what the schedule would be at this time and how much we would be paying, so I just left a blank space for the time being. So up to the top, I'm increasing our food budget from $750 a month to $800 this month. In a previous video, I talked about how we were consistently spending around $800 a month, and rather than sticking to that, I was increasing our budget. Feeding 2 teenage boys is no joke, folks. I don't know where they put it all away, but they do. And our budget is really only an estimate. I need to be able to go with what is happening in our current season of life rather than try to stress ourselves out and stick to a specific unrealistic amount. I've also increased our household spending. Now this is like personal care items like body wash, deodorant, but it's also things for around the house like dishwasher, detergent, laundry detergent, that kind of stuff. I'm noticing that things in general have just gone up in price, and so I need to shift to what is working best for us. The rest of the categories here have remained the same. The next section down, fuel, I had left this at $200 for the month, and looking back on that now, this may have been a mistake. I truly don't know. Gas prices have also gone up, like things are going up, but we're also doing more running around because we've had appointments and activities, and at the same time, Hubs isn't able to pick up the kids after activities as much as he did prior, simply because his job is reaching its busy season. So I'm the one that's doing more driving than initially anticipated. Therapy. So I've mentioned before that the kids go every other week. They are offset. I have 1 that goes 1 week, then 2 that go the following, and then 1 the following after that. And at the time that I set up this budget, I had planned on continuing to go weekly. So that's what I planned for. I planned for 12 appointments total in this budget. Now since then, I have been able to schedule out a fair amount of my appointments because I had to schedule at a particular time. And since the times had to be modified a bit of when I could go to match the summer schedule going on, there were going to be some weeks that I am missing, and that's fine. I filmed a video where I talk a little more about why we all go to therapy and what's going on with that, so keep an eye out for that one coming soon. We also had our 8-week Chewy auto ship this month. Our 8-week auto ship is our food for the dog and for the rabbits, and it's also some treats for our dog because she has food allergies, and so we have to be very particular on what we buy, and we can only buy particular brands, particular ingredients, and it's actually cheaper on Chewy than to just go to Petco or PetSmart, so this is what we do. I'm adding in medical and gifting expenses here at the bottom. I know that I'm going to be pulling in from sinking funds for anything going out. I've had to buy more prescription inhalers for me. I had to pick up my son's prescription. So there's obviously been expenses here, and I just need to account for them. And in the end, I have estimated a $698 buffer, and this is actually a pretty large buffer. Usually I get it down to $400. I know that going into this month, though, that there are going to be some things that I just didn't include on this sheet, and that's fine. One of them is the car inspection. I have until the end of June to get it done, but June usually gets really busy, and I would prefer to get it done sooner rather than later, like when the kids are still in school. I know that I didn't budget for anything on this page dealing with the car, and so the car inspection is going to have to come out of that buffer. 2, as I mentioned previously, I hadn't heard about our fall dance deposit yet. The last 2 years we put in the deposit for fall right around our spring recital, and I haven't heard about it yet. I like registering and paying for it now because we get a discount and we don't pay the registration fee, so I'm actually saving money by paying now. 3, my daughter is also taking a summer dance class, and my middle is taking music lessons because he needs to be in social activities, and I talk about that more in the therapy video that's coming up. So if you're interested, keep a lookout for that video. And 4, I know that I have more items to purchase for marching band this summer. I have mouthpieces that need to be purchased. There's wipes for his ear erasers that need to be purchased. Inevitably, there are going to be band purchases this month. I know that. He comes home with an occasional list of things that need bought, and I just haven't put in the order yet because I know he's not done telling me what it is he needs yet. So as of this recording, they still haven't received all of their marching band music. And because he is on first trumpet, how high the notes go depends on what mouthpiece he is going to need. And so once they receive all the music, he'll know if that, he's got all the mouthpieces or not. Also for marching band, for him, it needs to be plastic because by the middle to end of October, it gets very, very cold where we are. And to be out on the stadium with a metal mouthpiece, as it's getting cold, it's going out of tune, and it's just not ideal. So trying to hunt down specific sizes with plastic mouthpieces gets interesting. So while I don't expect any of this to take up the whole buffer, I'd rather leave extra wiggle room here just in case. And in this case, it's a larger wiggle room than usual because there's some more items in there than usual. All of that said as well, I did reduce our current debt payment, which is our current debt snowball, I should say, which is my Chase, to $200. I will probably be paying more on that. Actually, I know I paid more on that. I just don't have the number in front of me, but that's what's coming from this month towards the snowball. And so that does it for this video. What are some budgeting struggles that you are hitting lately, and how are you adapting to them? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos. And until next time, bye.